Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X. That is a 2D 4X video game that I'm making. I am in Godot and I'm learning C# while I do it. Godot.net, that's like the C# equivalent of Godot. There's also the GD script version, just in case. I know some people ask that occasionally. Like, didn't know that Godot accepted. It worked with C#. It also works with C++, but that's an extension, and I came over from Unity, so I already knew some C#. As I said, I'm learning as I go. This is an open source game. This is a list of issues and things that I plan to work on in the future. What we were working on last time, I had to jump off the stream a little, like 10 minutes early because I had to go to the bathroom really bad. And I said I was going to fix this when I was offline, but I didn't fix it. It looks like it's fixed. It says everyone's helpful, but it's actually not fixed. For some reason, what we're doing is there's like it's going to be in the background eventually, but right now it is. Oh, I've got to do this test because sometimes it doesn't work. Um, oh, I also forgot I changed it to hello instead of a test there. It did come through, so we're good. Anyways, so this isn't going to be shown all the time, but for the development, we need to be able to see this. Everyone, if they're unhelpful, then they don't do any work. And it was just being blank there, and I was trying to figure out why that was blank. And it turns out that this is checking, like, is this equal true? This doesn't. This is like a dictionary, and it's looking for the perk unhelpful. That's not how this perk is even set up. There isn't a bool in there to be true or not. So what we need to do, I think, I was wondering if this would work if we, because this says if it's true, do this, otherwise do helpful. It's just doing always the otherwise because there is no true there. Where was I was literally just looking at this, and I just commented this out to see if that's what it was. So it's adding this perk into everybody, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a 10% chance to get the unhelpful perk. And so we got to fix that, and then we got to also fix. We're gonna go through some. I have like I said, this whole list. We're gonna go through these other things too, and hopefully start getting a little farther along, but I feel like we're getting close to moving, like doing another compile where I export the game and we run the game to see where it is and then merge everything to main. I feel like we're getting close. Another 6 months. No. It's going to be another long time, but whatever. So I think what we should be doing is so let's put this, no, we need to put the 10%. Generate population perks is happening somewhere. We got to go up to here. So I wanted to look. I wonder. I don't know if maybe I was just like, oh, this will be easier, or if I was going to put a bool in there or what. Each perk is kind of like its own thing, and we can look at the perks. They have an enum that connects them, but there's also like a perk resource, which I don't see it up here. I try to keep this just to 2 rows of these things. Let's go take a look at the resource just to re-familiarize myself with how this shit is set up. We have a check for perk right here. It's built into this goddamn thing. And it returns. Okay, so we can use this. I must have like half done what I was doing and then got sidetracked or something. But the perk currently is just their name and their description. So there is no bool or anything in here, which is what we were checking for. So back to this population list UI. This should be. Oh, okay. So this is checking for the perk. If it's true. It's returning that, but it was always true because we were giving them, everyone was getting the perks. So let's go back to the generation. Where the fuck was that? County population generation. So down here, It's weird that that was coming out without. So this was adding it to everyone. I wonder why. There must be something wrong with my perk thing here. If contains key perk. Perks. Perks. So we're going to pass in the perk for that. And if it's containing that, check for perk. If it's true, it puts the perk name. Or is the perk name missing? Maybe that's the problem. No, it's there. So this should be, when I run it, this should all be unhelpful because we're adding it to everyone. And that shouldn't be checked for null. There's also some old test, some old code that I was expecting to work and it stopped working, and it's because all of these people were set to unhelpful. Yeah, see, this is coming in blank. Perk data. Oh, we have a new perk data. Joker, how's it going? I don't agree with your statement. This is the problem. This is this is why did I do this? That's fucking the whole thing up here. What we need to have here is county population. Population dot perk data. This is a list. Okay, I put that new in there because, all right, we can do this better. We can make this work. We want to do county population does not contain a get rid of this crap. All right. I wonder why I didn't get rid of it at the time. Days of starvation. Days starving. Where is my? It's a dictionary in here. I got to get my programming brain warmed up. Perks. Where are you? Perks equals perks. This is a list. Sorry, a dictionary. It's got the perk data and it's by perk. Okay, so we go back to this thing. This is going to be perks. Okay, I see why I did it this way. But it's not, I don't like it. What we got to do instead, I wonder if I can fix this with this thing that I learned recently. So this was I wonder if I can do this. I've got to pass this in. So here, we should be able to go just one period. Well, let me do that. It will. Man, that one comment this guy made, well, it was a couple of comments in chat, really changed how I program. So I didn't know, like I knew you could do this, but I didn't know you could do it, if that makes sense. And I was always complaining about all these messages down here saying that I wanted to see, here's one right there. It says it's market static. And I'd always be, fuck you. I don't know what that is. Get out of here. So we can use this to check if this perk exists on this county population. I guess the other way we could do it is probably like use the county population, because this is a dictionary of perks, and we could somehow look. But this is already, we can do it with the check, the check for whatever. But we already wrote this. Let's look at this one more time. Yeah, because this is on the perk data. You know, I think this is in the wrong spot. This is in the wrong spot. So this is also, all of this, this stuff is because of that one guy's comment. All of these changes and things. Lord Mac, how's it going? How is your evening? Is it evening? I think it's evening. So this, I think, should be over. So I'm still not. The comment that the guy made changed a bunch of stuff in my brain, but I think I'm only 70% there. So we have this thing in the perks, and I think what I'm supposed to be doing is, so the county population is like just a big thing of data. And I think what you're supposed to put these classes in the thing that has the data, so that you just check the thing that has the container. I'm going to call it a container. There's probably a real word for it. The container that has all the data. You're supposed to put the method in with the container that has all the data and just have it check its own data, if that makes sense. So this is, and I haven't been doing that, and I didn't know that was the thing. Like I can remember editing copy and pasted code of other people, not understanding it, but I think that's what, see, I wouldn't need the county population because this is inside the county population. So we would do this, and then we would go like this. And no, wait, this is going to be perks. Isn't that what I just called this thing? Perks. There we go. And then I was messing around with some other code, and I was back to doing my. So basically, oh, I don't have it here. I make an instance of a lot of stuff, and I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that. So if perks. Okay, so now this is messed up because it's static, but that's okay. We don't need it that static. So now it's going to check in this container of data, whatever, this public class, in this class. There we go. There's the correct word. In this class, it's going to check, does the perks contain this perk? And then we're going to save this shit. We're going to go back to here, and we don't need this. This doesn't work anymore, but we're checking the county population anyways, so we would go county population check perk, but we don't need to pass it in anymore because we're checking the actual county population. And then this is returning true or false. And so if unhelpful is in here, it's going to return true, but it doesn't know the name of it doesn't have the perk data because it doesn't know what that is right now, but we can fix that easily with county population dot. We could also, I was just thinking we could put in some sort of method that's going to return. Oh, I was hoping I could just keep double clicking and it would slowly expand that. Perks. There we go. And then otherwise, it's helpful. And once again, though, this is still wrong. I hope I saved that. I did. It should be. It should be just a big pile of bugs. County creator, we're not messing with that. Did I stick this somewhere weird? We didn't mess with that at all. Is obsolete. Oh, did I run the wrong thing? It shouldn't matter. I mean, we were running this 2 seconds ago. Check for perk. We have some other bugs. Maybe they're repercussions of this, but what is this obsolete thing? And why wasn't it warning? Creating an empty, this is depreciated. I wonder why it suddenly, oh, did I open up the county create? We'll just close this so that we have to look at it. Okay, and we'll fix that too. So how this would work then is we would get rid of this thing because we don't need that there. We have this guy here. We would go like this, and we would go check for perk off of him. And then if that's true, so because we know that that's a county population, if he has leader of people is in here, it's going to do that. Let's go to the next one that we messed up by changing this. Well, I guess we didn't really mess it up. We already know the county see, this whole thing is, all of those are no longer necessary. We're just doing it straight off the thing here. And it makes all the code a lot smoother, I feel. All right, let's do this again. I don't know what's going on with this county scene thing. Maybe it's been saying that obsolete thing for a while, and I just never noticed it. Because I did upgrade to 4.32 last week. Yeah, I bet you it's been saying that obsolete thing for a while. I wonder where it puts that. Weird. It's not down here. Or not a while, since last week. So let's check this thing again. Okay, so yeah, so this is part of the issue, is that when I made all those changes, I made everyone else unhelpful. So when I was running that other code and I was like, oh, I guess I broke the next code. It actually was just, I just made everyone not work. At some point, and that's a problem. So let's go back to the county generation, or the whatchamacallit. Yeah, this is gone. And let's go back to the county generation here. And this should be, no, county population generation. And population perks. Yeah, so what I did is I made this one first. And every leader of every faction gets the leader of people to start. And then I was just copied and pasted this code, and I was like, yep, good enough. There we go. We're fixed. But this is not how it should work, because that makes everyone unhelpful. What we've got to do here instead, do we have a random in here? We do. Wonder if there's a button that's like jump to cursor, because I have it, my cursor, where I want it. So we're going to do, so this is making a new perks thing, because we got to make a new perks dictionary that we're going to assign there. Yeah, and I guess we need to do that. It'll just be null if they don't have a thing. So let's do this. If they don't have this perk, it will just be an empty dictionary, but they need the dictionary, I guess. Yeah. So, well, who knows? Yes, someone knows. So let's do random. I saw it up here. See, now I got a bug down here, so I can just jump straight to it. Random. Oh, maybe I can't do it because this is static. I bet you that's why. I'm still learning, still learning the full extent of what this crap means. And I probably just can take this away. It probably was just complaining and saying, hey, you need this to be static, but it probably can't. Yeah. So what we want to do is have an int here. Int unhelpful role equals. Then we want 1, and I know I put somewhere chance of being unhelpful right there. That's what I was going to say. Is I know I put something somewhere. I didn't know what it was called. So we'll get a role here, and no, wait, that's not what we want. This is going to be 100, 101. And then we say if unhelpful role is less than chance of being unhelpful, then we add this thing in here. Just pushing the Windows button. Okay, so if this is underneath the chance of being unhelpful, it's a percentage role. You know what? I'm listening to Wolf Parade right now. I know you guys can't hear it, but I'm surprised that Wolf Parade has held up for so long. Like every album is pretty just standard good. I'm gonna call it rock and roll music, even though that does have like a weird connotation. I am winning. I am winning. I've won. I've won the thing. I wish I still it was rock and roll all night and partying every day. Uh, I used to be able to like hang out and drink till 3 in the morning and then go to work at 6 a.m. stinking of booze and still like function. And I just can't do it anymore. It's getting old is like it's just dumb. I don't know. It's like torture. All right, here we go. We got two unhelpful suckers. Let's unpause this and just see what happens now. If we get like bugs galore and just let it roll. Aha! There's a bug. There's two bugs. Let's see what this is. Check if county improvements are done. If the county make everyone working on it idle. All right, so I think. Oh wait, no. This should check if county improvements are done. Let's look at this whole the whole error here. Object reference not set to an object, to an instance of an object. Check if county improvements are done. End of day. Timekeeper. Physics. End of day is what I can't remember. I'm almost 100% positive is end of day is what happens first. Yeah, end of day is what should have been working already. So this is some other thing. I'm glad I checked that. So this is complete construction is I'm assuming we get here. It gets kind of convoluted here. Let's go back to this. Check if county improvements are done. County AI. Update current. Now I'm not winning. I was winning, and now I'm losing. If the county, make sure everyone working on it is idle. Oh, I think this is it. Oh, you know what the reason? The reason why this doesn't work? Because we still haven't assigned anybody to this list. This is the list that it's checking who's working there, and that's like next. That's next on the okay, it's not next on the list, but it's very soon we're gonna start doing that. I'm gonna put a note in here. This doesn't work until we assign people to the list of workers on the county improvement. All right, so we've known that this is going to be an issue for a long time. It's just we haven't gotten to that yet. All right, so we fixed this thing. Let's close this shit. And if the game is unpaused and you open the population list, it pauses, but if you close the population list, it stays paused. What? All right, game's paused. If the game is unpaused and game is unpaused. Oh, we got bugs though. That's fine. And you open the population list, it pauses. But if you close it, it stays paused. It sure does. Okay, so let's fix that. I actually already know what the problem is. I think I shouldn't say that because every time I say that, it's not the problem I think it is. Okay, so that is I have this open actually. It's right here. Here on visibility change probably. Oh no, I had changed it. See, pause time, unpause time. Um, Population list UI. So on if visible, it should pause time. And then unpause time. So I noticed that this thing on another, I have this thing that's supposed to be pause, unpause. This doesn't work. This hasn't worked for a while, I don't think. So I have these two different ones. This works. So this works for spacebar. This only works for spacebar. Everything else of this does not work. So yeah, that's for like spacebar. And I like was looking at this one day and I noticed some of them had this unpause time and pause time. So what is going on here? If modulated time, a modified time scale is greater than 0, old time equals modified time equals 0. Number of things paused plus plus. So we keep track of how many things are paused. And you know what? I think this starts this first the minute that if you start the game paused, this gets thrown off. So let's actually GD print this because I think this is the problem, and I was trying to fix it, and I just like half-ass fixed it some other time. What is the space here? And so we're gonna run this. We're just gonna ignore that for now. Man, it's starting to take a while to start the game. Pause time, number of things paused is 1. Okay, so what was the problem to recreate this? If game is unpaused and you open the population list, it pauses. So we're gonna unpause this real quick, and we need to like stop it after that. All right, pause it again. See, this is why there was 800 things appeared. 800 things. But that's actually the right number of things paused is 0 and then it's 1. Unpause this thing, click on here, I just opened the population list. Number of things paused is 1. Number of things paused is, oh wait, it worked this time. Oh, what? Maybe if I go to like one of these, I didn't do that though. What the fuck? No, well, I was winning, and then I was losing, and now I'm. What is it when you're winning and losing, or neither? Okay, it's paused. I unpause it. I click this thing. I click it's paused. I close it and it unpauses. I don't know. It's not broken now. Woozing? Linning? I think pirate victory. McGonking? No, definitely not McGonking, because that's always winning when you're McGonking. I don't know. It's whatever that is. This just fixed itself. We'll just close this and then we'll, whoops. Why did that pop open a whole new, I guess it, no, there we go. We'll just close this and assume that it's fixed. What are you doing? Look at the screen. What the fuck is going on over here? Good job, GitHub. Sometimes I think it's Firefox that causes these weirdnesses. All right, so we're gonna say that's done. And I thought of this while I was going to sleep. This has been something I've wanted on the top for a while. And so we're going to do that next, and then we're going to start going. We're almost to this how I want to do the scavenging, or how much, not scavenging, how much remnants they use each day. So what I want to do is when you click on a county, I want to have the last days next to this. I want to have the last day's usage. So because right now, if you would have to pay attention to the amount changing, and you like I want to have it up here. What you used last time, so it's easier to keep track. Click on your county. Do you have a county? I don't have Canada up here. It's gonna be one day though. We'll put the capital on your house. Of a capital of Canada, a capital of whatever county. So this is gonna be kind of a pain actually to put this here, but I think that it really, really, really needs to be here. So let's look at this top bar, which is where I actually already zoomed in. So we're gonna need, how are we gonna do this? It's just gonna be like I kind of want it in parentheses. Maybe, why do I want it in parentheses? I don't know why I want it in parentheses. Is that how they do it in other games? Is that why it's in my brain that? But we're gonna need an int there, basically, at the end of, I guess, all of these. Wonder how we're going to keep track of that. I guess we're just going to have a number at the county level that is there. So let's do this. Let's go. What does this show? Okay, that's just the number. And I have a panel container in here. What is this? Okay. So this is just all in one big H box. So probably what we could do, I'm not sure why I put a panel container here. Maybe it just looked better or something. But if we duplicate this, we could just have, I'm just going to put in a number here, -50. So this is kind of what I was thinking. Let's click away, though. It's kind of far to the right. We could also make this container shrink horizontally. I said shrink horizontally. Maybe I gotta have this thing shrink too. I think I do. I want this thing to actually expand vertically. I want you to fill, and then you to shrink to the beginning. There we go. The only problem with that is if this number changes, it's going to start, the whole upper thing is going to be like blarp. So let's set, that's what the sound effect it's going to make. Let's set a minimum size here of like, what's 50? The problem is it's going to look like dog shit if there's, how about 40? Let's do 40, and then they're going to go back, and we're just going to, it's going to look like dog shit whatever we do. go back to this thing. And this has a 60 in there. I think we need this to be centered. No, you expand vertically if it's so. It is! Expand vertically was easy. All right, so we have one of these working. We need to just rename this mount used. Mount used food panel container. And then we can amount food number, and then we'll just like duplicate this a couple of times here. And then we'll just move Is this the first one? It is. And then we'll go and then I need one more. Then I need one more here. Okay, how does that look? Looks fine. It looks fine, I suppose. I'm getting more and more lazy with see, I can't do that first. I'm getting more and more lazy as time goes by. The more I program, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna leave this garbage name here. But I don't think I'm actually gonna put influence amount used panel container. Let's do it like this. We'll copy that. We'll do it that way that all of these say influence. And then we'll do this. But this is a label. And then we'll go money amount used panel container. The problem, so the reason I keep naming all these, and this I still have kind of kept up with, is I can't always remember what these little symbols mean. Like what panel, like this one, okay, this must be like a sprite or a texture or some shit. And this, oh, this is a label. But there's a lot of like little squares and stuff that I just don't. Like this one is a solid square versus a, so I just keep labeling them what they are at the end. Oh, I didn't do this right here. And this is a label. And then scrap. Oh no, we're not calling it scrap anymore. We're calling it remnants, which I can never spell. Remnants. And there's that Remnants video game. I think I've mentioned this before. The first one was so good. The second one was really disappointing. I don't know how they fucked it up so much. Amount used panel container. And then we'll go down here, paste, label. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that. It's common that I'm the only one who thinks something sucks. We'll go to here, F2, building materials, amount used, panel container, and then, whoops, copy this, paste that, nice and long. And then this one we're going to rename to, I guess, food amount used, panel container, paste, label. Okay, then, you know, another thing I've been thinking about lately, probably almost every time I stream, is huh. I don't know, this is all I have on here. Because I'm looking in the wrong spot. I was like, what? So when I first started, everyone said I should be making everything into a scene, and I'm still like I keep that in the back of my head, like, but I can't figure out why. I still don't know why I would make all this stuff a scene. Because they're individual, like they're unique. Uh, it's still like a question that floats in my head of like why would I make those a scene? All right, so at the top here we need to add these labels, which actually there's not that many of them. There's somewhere, oh, it's the description page. There's just a bazillion of these labels. But we're going to do a private label, and this is going to be called like influence amount used. And then we'll like just copy this and make whatever 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And then we'll go money. And then we'll go food. And then we'll go remnants. I was hoping I still had that remnants. It's not even close. Not even close. Remnants. Repetition will make me remember this. Remnants amount used, and then we have building materials amount used. And then while we're here, let's rename this thing to remnants. And I guess we could line these up so that these don't actually match the same order as what's on here. So I'm actually going to put these, look at this -50 showed up over here, and it looks like dog shit. On the first thing we have is influence, then we have money, then we have remnants. I think that's what that thing is. So remnants. Then we have building materials. Then we have food. So this should all match here. And then we'll get rid of this thing. We'll go back to our thing here. We'll build this so we can get these to appear in the inspector. I've been checking out a bunch of like demos and stuff for when I stream. I've been waiting for, there a bunch of strategy games are coming out, and I love strategy games, so I've been checking out all these demos, and I was surprised how many games are made in Unity. Like almost, I would say 90% of them. Only one I can think of, and it was Unreal that they did, and I was surprised that it was Unreal too, because Unreal has the I can't think of the word. The Unreal has it's not a feeling. The feeling, we'll use feeling. People say that Unreal is like a graphics engine. There we go. There's another way to get around to that word that I can't think of. We don't need this stuff. We don't need that. We need this. We need this label. Should be here. And then we need money amount used. Should be here. And then we need the remnants label itself. We shall rename this thing. Remnants. And then we'll go back up to here. Remnants label. That's up. Gotta fix that whenever I see it. This should go here. And then this should go here. And then building materials amount used. And then food amount used. All right, let's save this shit so I don't have to do it again. And now we need to generate a way to like, so let's go back to our county data, because our county data is going to have, we need to store this somewhere in here. And then so we're going to need maybe we need a list or a dictionary of this crap. We could do a dictionary. Yeah, we should just do a dictionary. I'm getting really into the dictionaries again. It's going to somehow bite me in the ass at some point. So we have this dictionary of resources. So the amount used is the day before. So it's the amount used the day before. So why do I have an export on this? I don't know why I have an export on that. Public Godot collections dictionary. I don't know why I'm using a Godot one either, but we'll do it. This is going to be all enums dot faction resource type comma int. So it's just going to be an int that it's going to keep track of, and we're going to, I guess, do we need to initialize this? I guess I can just, we need to add it in, I suppose. So somebody also said in chat the other day that like dictionaries aren't in order and lists are, and I guess I never knew that either. And I keep thinking about that, like, wait, if they're not in an order, I don't think it matters. But then what happens if you do like a for each? Is it just going in some crazy order? I don't know. It's blowing my mind. Should take a class. So this is going to be called amount resources used yesterday. That's what that's going to be called. Resources used yesterday. And we want it on the faction level because this, let's look at this thing. I think I have like, I don't think, when we click on this, I don't have any tooltips on here. It sounds like this should have tooltips on it. This would be the perfect place to have some tooltips. But anyways, this is it's not each type of food. This is all of the food, which is the faction level resource thing. So there's 3 foods here. If we go to here, it will tell us the amount of food that is here of each type. So there's canned food is 1, fish and vegetables is the other, and this adds up to 3. Luckily, look how this has pushed everything over. And pause. Is that centered still? I guess it is centered. I mean, this is fine. That's what this bar is for. And we'll probably put another button on this right side for the faction. And it'll be like a faction panel. This is the one thing that, I've gone through and done like a loop of everything that's needed in the game except for a faction panel. And the faction panel will have like your policies and stuff in it, like what policies you do. Resources used yesterday. So we have this dictionary. It's a faction resource type and it's an int that we're doing. So we need to make this go like this. Then I guess in county generation, we're just going to add. Oh, we gotta fix this. Where'd you go, county data? We gotta add the construct this to the constructor, which we actually can go control period. And nope, we sure can't. We can select this all and go control period. And then generate a constructor. Oh, is there no constructor in county data? There sure as fuck isn't. What the fuck is this? I remember doing this, but I can't remember what this does. Food list. Perishable food list, non-perishable food list. I put them all in one list, but I had to do it for something else. Get food lists, get lists of food. Oh, this is like a temporary, this is a temporary thing. I'm gonna put this in here. This is a temporary list. This is for some other crazy shit that I had to do. Okay, so there's no constructor in here. Seems strange. Speaking of all of the things I've learned from chat, I think someone said there should be a constructor in there, and I went, okay. I said, okay, at some point I'll put a constructor in there, but there isn't. I don't think I use constructors in any of the resources. I don't. I wonder why that's different. Why I did that differently. I'm setting myself up for some sort of catastrophic failure. And I'll be like, why the fuck doesn't this work? You know, a year from now, and it'll be because I was supposed to have a constructor in there the whole time. I don't even know what the fuck a constructor does. I have one in here. No, I don't. I have one over here. And it just is a pain in my ass right here. This is just a pain in my ass. I hate it. I wish it would die. Don't know what it does. I mean, it's got to be there, though, or it doesn't work. So I put it there. One day, it will all make sense. I'll be like, oh, that's why you have a constructor. Don't know. If you know, tell me. I mean, I could look it up, too. I could Google it. I noticed this is, now I'm just rambling. I noticed on Reddit, a lot of people will ask questions that they could just Google. Like someone will say something on Reddit. I saw a battleship in the harbor, and the next comment will be, what's a battleship? And it'll just be like, well, why do you want someone to explain it when you want it? And then a lot of times people will. They'll be like, well, a battleship is a class, blah, blah, blah. You know, and it's like, it's weird. And I was wondering if that's some sort of thing we've been trained to do, is ask when we don't know something, or if it's a way for people to get karma, or whatever the fuck they call it in Reddit, or if it's instead of just looking it up ourselves. I don't know. These are the deep thoughts that I have while I'm looking at Reddit, right? Okay, so what the fuck am I doing here? I got sidetracked. We need to have it so that the county data, which I just put that dictionary in there, but when the county is generated, we need to put a bunch of zeros in there. We need a bunch of zeros in here. Not the county population. We want the county generation. And we'll write a new thing here. See, it's going down each thing. Update resources. We can put it in update resources, actually. What does this do? Assign a copy of each resource to each county. For each. Can I do it with an enum? This would be sweet if I could. I've never tried to do this. For each, I don't know how to do it. Let's ask ChatGPT here. In C#, I want to for each some enums. Can I do that? Yes, you can iterate over the values of an enum in C# using the for each loop. Okay. They always use weekends or weekday or whatever. Days of the week. get values. Okay, so this is what we want. Look at all those things. Look, there's 3 of them. So then we're going to put in here, and we're going to go add the resources to the resources used yesterday dictionary. And then we're going to go all enums, faction, resource type, resource in, all enums, faction, resource type, type of, wait, what? Days of the week, day, type of, days of the week. Really? Seems like a strange way to do it. It seems like you're doing, is this right? It seems like you're doing the same thing twice. Why is this grayed out? Convert to a 4. Oh, that's nice of it would do that. Simplify member access. What the fuck does that mean? I'm just gonna leave it all gray. What, can I just make this get values? I sure as fuck can't. How does this thing look? Oh, you know, it has enum here, and I assumed that was, this probably needs to be enum. Right there. It does. Okay, I assumed that that was, whatever. It doesn't matter what I assumed. I was wrong. Okay, so it's, oh, I got 2 of these in here now. So it's going to go, let's put resource type. It's going to go through all of each enum, and we need to add it to the dictionary, which we are not in the county generation, or we're not in the thing, but we have a county right here. And then we can go county data. You son of a bitch. You know what we could do? No, we got to do it on its own. We'll just do that. What we'll do is we'll just put this in here because it needs to be in here anyways. County data, resources used yesterday, dot add, resource type, comma, 0. All right, so it's going to go through every county at this point. This is in the county generation phase. And like I was saying, I'm starting to add so many different things that are getting added to the game when you run it. There's going to be a point where we're going to need like a label or something that tells what it's going on in the background. And we'll have to slow it down enough so that like a human could read the shit. And then we're also going to have to figure out save games because we're going to not want to have to generate all this shit every time I run the game. And we'll just load a save game and hopefully it'll be faster. Maybe it won't. It's happening from disk, so it probably won't be faster. I mean, who knows? So anyways, I'm just double checking that this code looks right. For each county in the list of counties, copy and assign resources. Update scavengeable resources. And then we have this other dumb shit thing in here. This is going to be, we're going to write a method right here. And we're going to say, add resources used resources to resources used yesterday. And we passed in a county. What a son of a bitch that I am. Okay, and then we'll generate this. We'll cut this shit out of here. We'll put this thing in here. There we go. So this is just a little bit cleaner, hopefully. Sometimes I feel like I have so many of like this goes to this, then it goes to this thing, then it goes to that thing, and then it's like 50 methods embedded inside of each other. All right, let's run this. And then I'm going to take a quick break. It's like exactly an hour. We're just looking for bugs, basically. See how this is taking longer and longer. Um, Copy. Handle is not initialized. What isn't? What are you talking about? Handle is not initialized. Um, whose handle? What handle? These are my favorite bugs. It's just some sort of thing that it hasn't told us what anything. I have a feeling it's because I messed with county data here. County data is generated in another spot. Is this a resource? It is a resource. I got to be very careful here. I figured out sometimes, and I actually saw a issue in the Godot thing about this, that they're going to try to make the air handler. Maybe it was maybe they added some air. Anyways, basically, if a resource got kind of messed with in the wrong way, um, this is a different one. Yeah, I don't have it on exposed. Um, it would crash and it would burn the whole fucking inspector down. And it happened in this one day on one of my streams, and then it also happened in another one where, but now it's just to like give you like a way to bail out of the problem. I bet you I need to regenerate the counties at this point, because I think I'm betting the counties, the county data is old, because I have a map editor thing. We haven't done that in forever, so it's probably time to do it anyways. But I'm going to take a quick break, and then we can see what those things that said that was obsolete too. I'm pointing at it and try to figure out what that is. So let me put my break timer, and we're gonna skip the cure here that you guys can't hear, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. God, you guys can't see my cat, but he just looks so cute right now. He's got, oh my God, now he's moving because he's looking at him. It's insane. Just laying there, all half curled, feet in the air. Okay, let me start my music again that you guys can't hear, and break timers off. I'm gonna bet we need to regenerate these things. Um, like I said, we haven't done that in a long time, and I'm surprised it hasn't broken sooner. I don't need to close all those things, but I do need to open up. I do need to change my music that you guys can't hear. Oh, it's bad. I don't know what this is, but it's bad. Please. Quick. Okay. Whew, I did it. We're gonna need to go to this scene and run this scene here, but we need to delete something first. But I just want to find this scene and open it up. Where the hell is all my shit? Here we go. It is the map editor scene. And then we're gonna go to these counties and make sure that I'm deleting the right thing. We don't want to delete the resources. Is the game running? Yeah, let's stop that too. It shouldn't matter because well, it might. I hit delete, but nothing happened. So let's do this again. Hit delete, and it says these can't be undone. Let's run the map editor here. And like I said, we haven't done this in a long time, so let's hope that the thing doesn't fucking implode. There's no files in here, which is great. We're going to generate the counties, and it's going to go through and create the masks for all these things according to this. This looks like this. Oh no! Huh. So what happened is this bug is it's trying to subscribe here, but this scene doesn't even exist in the map editor, but in the county it does. We haven't done this for a long time, I guess. I guess. So we need to do like if the scene that now how do we do this? These are getting instantiated now to be saved for later. So I could run this thing every time the game starts, but I want to have it saved so that like you can have a finished product when the game goes out to the players for the first time. They don't have to generate a goddamn map because it takes an eternity. Like in Paradox games, I don't know what the fuck they're doing in there the first time you run it, but it takes forever. I think they're doing something with the graphics, but anyways. So I wonder how we do this. I need to do like an if. If the scene that's running is... I'm going to ask ChatGPT, but I'm not even sure how to... In Godot.Net C#, if... I have to put the C# thing in there, otherwise it gets confused. If I am running... This isn't going to... That's... how am I going to ask this? A scene that instantiates other scenes. And there is something in ready. Something in ready that is for a different scene. How do I make it not run? That's like, if it can figure this out. If you have a piece of code in ready method that only runs for certain seeds, you can dash. Why not, right? But I need it. I don't want to use a bool. I mean, if I have to, then I will. But use type checks. What is this? If this is specific scene. If the specific code should only run for certain derivative classes, you can use type checks. This, I think, is where we're at. If name equals specific scene name, use scene path. No, fuck you. I might have to do this one, actually. If get tree current scene dot file name. This is in county. I don't really like to, because I like to rename shit all the time. I don't really like to use this, like things in quotes. What am I trying to delay? So in the map editor, it's trying to subscribe to the clock thing, but the clock doesn't exist in the map editor. But the map editor creates these and instantiates these, and then we save them to disk. And so I only want this to subscribe when it's in the main thing. So I think I have to do this. The problem with this, though, is, once again, if I rename something, file name, this would just be main. No, it wouldn't. It would be scenes / main. If it's not too, well, I get a bug, and I don't want any bugs. I get a bug. What is this really? If current scene equals, do I need this? I could probably just get rid of this. Nope. The root node. Type node in string. What are my? It had file name in there. Scene name, scene path, name, unique, renamed, current scene. What does this say again? Reload warning to node and setting this property directly. Godot get scene. No, get tree. Scene tree. Get out of here. What is this? Get, get tree root. Get tree order. Change scene to file. Resource loader. Scene unique. I just want the other thing. The other type of, whoops. I've been doing that a lot lately, clicking on that thing. I want the docs. Here we go. Current scene file path. Is that what I'm looking for? Scene file. Oh, you want me to current scene file path. The original scene's file path. If the node has been instantiated from only, well, I mean, we can just try it, right? Um, let's see here. So let's go back to this. Let's stop this. Let's hit play. You know, it's good that we're checking this. I ran the wrong thing, but it also crashed, which is not good. um, oh, I never saved any things. I just generated them and got those bugs. Well, I didn't get the bugs this time, so let's save the counties here. And then I need an exit button on here. Do I have that in my list? Map editor. I know there's a lot of things I want to do with the map editor. It's very primitive right now. I bet you I don't. Exit button to exit the map editor. We'll convert this. Thank you, Joker. It seems to work so far. Then we'll exit here. And then, what are you doing? I've never seen it do that before. Now we should have these new scenes here, and we're gonna hit play, and it should hopefully not implode. And they should get the clock thing. Hopefully. Okay, so we have that, and whatever those weird bugs are gone too. Let's just click around a little bit here. Yeah, that seemed to solve whatever our issues were. The fuck is this? Oh, I can click on it and it makes it more upset. I've never seen that before. Oh, look, I can do it. I can even when it's not running. Let's run it again and see what the hell that thing is. See, it's not here. Oh, it's back. It's only when I click on here? You're kidding me. Look, I'm clicking down here. Oh, look at this. What the fuck is this thing? Let's stop. Let's let's copy this thing. No copying allowed. It might, no, this is Notepad. Okay, we don't get to copy that. Let's Google this. Scene tree index. What the fuck is that thing? We solved one problem to go to another one. This says, index p underscore column equals 0. Godot, whoops. Home. Godot. This is closed. This is not a constant crash. I've had it happen while saving a script. I've been unable to reproduce. Mine equals 0, but there is equals. I found that disabling multi-threading in the Godot editor, but I don't want to do that. I've successfully found a backtrace. Fixed, merged. Is there a more recent one? Here we go. Here's it's closed. Why did you close this? Added yesterday. Crash confirmed. Closed yesterday. Closed yesterday, you say? May fix, but not because I don't know how to reproduce reliable. Yestermorrow? Needs testing. Who is this guy? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but who is this guy? He's a Godot engine maintainer. He committed it to the master yesterday. Is Remy. Should I know who that is? So how do I get this into my program? I guess that's my voice for when I talk about getting things into my program. I guess I gotta wait until the next version. What is the... See, this is the problem with... It'd be funny if they had released one. They'd up to fix it yesterday, and released a new thing that quickly. Yeah, I'm on beta 2 already. So does this make it unplayable, though? Or can we just ignore this for right now? He's on Twitter, huh? One of the main boyos, huh? Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I think I'm okay. I wonder why it started after I regenerated these things. I wonder if it's because I saved these to generated these. You know what else we could do? You know what else we could do is just restart Godot and see what happens. That was a long time for me to be silent. I like to run my mouth. I try to keep running my mouth at all times when I'm streaming. That's my goal. Constantly run mouth. What did I do to make that happen? Really nothing. I was just clicking around and then thought we had a bug there, but no. Look, see, all this stuff is working. One of the co-founders with the, I noticed that it says, I wonder if it says it after, up here. Oh, it's not on this one. Maybe it's the first time you run it. It says like thanks to Juan, some other person, and then like all of the other. And it says and maintainers or something. And I was like, why don't they get their names? So let's stop this and see if it comes back. All right, I guess it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And as long as it's not the end of the world, and this seems to work. Did it work? I guess let's run it and see. So what did you say at the beginning? Joker, you said you're always unhelpful. You helped right there. All right, let's how would we know that that's working? That's the end of day thing. It would have already happened and we would have got issues. I guess maybe it could have just not ran. End of day would have had county hour 0. This would have happened. So let's type this in here. County. Oh shit. It may not have happened. Scenes. Main. Motherfucker. Look at that. See, this is why I don't like quotes. You've been up for 32 hours, huh? Have you been partying? And what was the other thing? Partying? I said drinking, but partying? I guess partying's it. Rock and rolling and partying for 32 hours? Because that's how you know that you're still young. 1 o'clock has passed, and county hour 0. Boom. I should probably make this a fucking variable. I'm not going to. Figure out why I did this. Oh, yeah. You know why I did this probably? Because back in the day, I didn't know. So if you have like a node 2D, you can't access this is a county. And so if down here, if you do node 2D and you go like the county, you can't access the script on it. But if you go county, that's a node 2D, you can access the script on it. And I didn't know that at the beginning. So I'm betting what I did here was I was getting the county node. Where's the county node on here? County node. Oh, so the county data has this node in it. I bet you this could be removed. I don't want to do it right now though. Rating a Godot newbie. Nice. How'd it go? Did you help him out? Or the other person help him out? C# in one ear. GD script in the other. Isn't there like something or whatever? Okay, so let's go back to this list of things here. And let's go over to here. We're back to adding the last day's resources usage at the top. So we have our county generation. Should be adding these all as 0. I don't think 9 hours. Holy shit. I cannot program for 9 hours. I like to program for 15 minutes and take a break, and then 15 when I'm not streaming. We really can make this static? All right. These ones we're getting to. I've been saying that for weeks now. So back to this. So we need to have 2 different things happen. Top bar control needs to control those new variables that we added in here. Tomato style. What is that? Count faction resources. Huh. I don't think that that's right anymore. I think there's a better way to do that. So this is updating our expendables, but we need to also update. Where is this at? Okay, so we have a little thing that happens here. This is not going to be what we want. So we're going to need to do a public void updates resources used yesterday. And then we're going to have this, and we're going to have like these new labels. Influence amount used dot text equals whatever. We're just going to put something in here for a second. Can I see? Get the fuck out of here. Can I see? No. Money. Amount used. Text equals whatever. Actually, I mean, Well, we'll get to it. Remnant amount used text equals whatever. And I could have made this an array. Building materials. And then just went through them all, but whatever. And then food amount used text equals. Okay, so when is this going to run? We need to go back and have this equal 0. All of these should just be 0. Oh shit, we got to put it inside a thing. That's fine. But all these should be 0 to start with, just to kind of like, because that's what it's going to be. And then we'll go from scrap texture. This is going to be called remnants. Remnants texture. You can close down. This is going to be 0. And this is going to be 0. I was talking about decimal points, and I was like, there's no fucking decimal points in my game for amounts. And I actually was playing that Kingdoms, that Fields of Glory 2 Kingdoms game, and they do a lot of like plus or minus 0, and I hate it so much. I will say plus 0 because there's like a decimal point that you can't see, or minus 0, and I don't know why it drives me insane. Okay, so it's going to start out as 0, and every morning it's going to update these things, and it's going to need to update. We're going to have a check. We need it to update. Wow, when do we need this to update? So we're going to generate. No, we don't give a shit about generating the new ones. We want it to update when it's, let's look at our thing here. Check if county resource or county improvements are done. Yeah, I'm going to put this thing in here. This is busted until we add people to the list, to the county improvement list. Decide buildings, county improvement. Workday over for population. Workday over, is there enough food? I think we wanted to rename this. People get jack shit for happiness. Okay, so everyone's eaten at that point. Check if there's enough food. That's really a terrible name. We want this to, this is a terrible name. This is a terrible name. Then after this thing, at the end of the day, we're going to, so I kind of jumped the gun adding this part now because it's not going to have an effect yet. We're going to have population uses other resources besides food. That's going to be next. Then we're going to do that part. And then we'll get to day's start. So after this, we can then say update the top bar usage dictionary. No, update the top bar. What is this thing called that I just fucking made? Update resources used should run here. And I guess we could just put it right here. Except, I guess we could just do an instance of it. I think, sorry, not an instance. You don't know what do I have instance on here? I don't. Top bar control. I do have an instance of this. I don't think I actually need to do it this way anymore. I think I can go like this. I can go, nope, I guess I cannot, because these are all variables that are in use. Uh, it can't be it needs to be this instance of this thing needs to update. So that is, I think that's right. I don't know. I'm still figuring that shit out. So under county, we would have this with the resources used yesterday. Code is not complete because we don't have, well, we need to, we can do it. We can make the code somewhat complete. So this is what's gonna matter to this. The reason why I'm like kind of like keep looking at this and like going, what? Um, so on here, this is faction level. This is still like a problem. I might have to like just have this all go away. Maybe I'll put this in like a, starting from these over would go away. Look at that, I'm clicking, look at that. Motherfucker, I'm going through the, I can click through this banner, the top bar. It's always something with this goddamn bars. Can click through the UI, the top bar. I was so stoked originally, but I do how you select things differently now, and it's just, originally I was stoked on how Godot did mouse through things, but it's actually not that great. It works, but it's, anyways, unrelated. So I think, so when you don't have a county selected, I think these things might need to go away. Because it's, right now you can't, after you've selected a county, you can't not be selected, but it's too much of a problem. And I think, you know, what we could do is maybe even put an event, it doesn't matter right now. What we'll do is we'll say update resources used yesterday. Update, are we in top bar? Yeah. Okay, so we'll say if globals instance selected county ID, selected left click county is not equal to null, then this thing, these all need to go up here. And then we'll put see that this is, whoops, I don't know what the fuck I just clicked there. I clicked paste. This is why I was saying I could have made it an array, I guess. Because then we have this dictionary in here. You know, let's do this just so that this isn't so long. County. No, let's do county data. County. Don't I have some left slick? Oh, don't I have some left click county data? It would be lowercase county data. No, which is actually good because I think as I was thinking that, I was like, I think that's going to cause problems. Because it would be null. We'd have to like reassign it every time. Okay, so now we have the county data here, and then we would just go like county data. What did I call that? Resources used yesterday, and then we'd have this all enums. Yep. All enums. Influence. I was just thinking, is there a better way to do this? We keep the amount that was there yesterday and we do the math, or do we keep track? So we keep like yesterday, we keep yesterday's amounts and we just do the math each day, or do we keep track of how much was used? So like if we use 5, we have a number that's 5, or do we have yesterday's resources there and it just does the math? So long term, I think we'll want to know yesterday's amounts because we'll want to have graphs so that people can look at graphs. See, every time now, we've gotten to the point in this program where every time in this game I touch one thing, it causes 50 more things to be written. And so it's like very slow going when I say, oh, we'll just have it so that the population uses some resources. No big deal. It turns into fucking not a catastrophe. It just turns into like 1,000 different things that need to happen. Um, I don't know. Um, this is just an int in here. What did I? It's just a straight up int. Um, this just needs to be toString. I don't think we want to do it this way, honestly. I'm trying to think of like how much crazy amounts of data that's going to take. Every county, there's 500 counties. Can you look at graphs of shit in like CK3? In Victoria 3, you can look at graphs of some stuff. You can look at graphs of like some influence usage, your happiness, but it has a very limited span. And I think there's actually some mods out there that have a better span. Let's do this then. I don't want, like, once again, I don't want to be stuck just grinding, making, it is progress, but making no progress, you know. Um, this should be, we just got to update these things. Money and remnants and building materials and food. All right, let's put a note in here for, this isn't going to be population, it's going to be under counties, I guess. We will want to keep track of every day, though. That's so much, man. That's like 500. So there's 500 counties. And we would have to save that to disk or some shit. We want to keep track of, and like how far do we go back? Do we go back to the beginning of time so they could see like a perfect graph of resource usage based per day for every county? This seems like a crazy amount of data to save. So I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to mark it as an issue, and then we'll decide later. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, and it's on the next round. So in the meantime, we'll keep track of this resources used yesterday as a simple integer. And we'll do the math as the day goes by. We'll have to reset it at the beginning of each day, though. And all this is doing is updating those the thing at the top to 0. And but it's there somewhat. And since I have more notes in here, I think we're to here now. The update, the code is complete. See, on this one I was passing in this county, but we actually wanted the county data, so I started changing that right there. Okay, so let's go back to my list of shit though. So this has been added. I don't know how I like it. So we can close this. After the people eat, the top bar with the counter needs to be updated. It's the same thing. That's the same thing. 2 issues for the same thing. Come on. When generating resources at the end of the day, we need to check the county improvement to make sure it generated resources. So now we're to another question. Do we want to show... I think actually how we want to do this is on these top bars. On this thing, we're going to actually want to keep track of how much was generated and how much was used. And so that top thing is going to show a plus or a minus. So if you use too much yesterday, you'll be able to see it says -10. Oh shit, we used too much in this county. And then if you have extra in that county, it will show the plus, and you'll be like, oh, we have plenty. But it will fluctuate kind of wildly, especially at the beginning, because you don't have enough population. So let's put, have a note in here? When generating resources, we need to check the county improvement and make sure it's generating resources. I think that's not what I'm talking about, though. I think this is just saying, like, did we ever make sure that these things were working? And I don't think we did, because we can't right now. Each person and hero should research what skill they are using. Unless they're idle, then it should be random skill. Heroes may, change the random happiness gain into something like skill data. Experience increase so that it becomes harder the higher it goes. This, I think I'm going to move this down to the next thing, and we can think about that. Will just sit in my brain for a while. Well, how are we doing the happiness gain? I'm pretty sure add random happiness. Yeah, just adding like 1 to 4. We can do it differently. When generating resources at the end of the day, we need, each person add a math thing, so current amount of construction can't go above the math amount. I think I already did that. I think I did that. That's in county improvement data. I think I did that last time. Math max amount of construction. That's done. Whoa. Why did you jump down there? I'm gonna actually put a note on this now that this is. Maybe we don't want to do it this way. Maybe we don't want to do it this way. Maybe we do. And go back up to here. Add a math thing so amount of construction can't go above the max amount. We can close that. We did it. We're going to be able to close a couple of things here. Visiting heroes need to be able to eat food too. It needs to improve faction relations. I think this is going to be a next round thing. It's just we gotta move forward on some stuff, and we gotta come back, and we're never going to be done with the game. That's the thing. We're never going to be done. It says the next activity is scavenging when it should say idle when they're currently scavenging. This is what caused this whole thing to implode and rewriting all this stuff. Check to see if the building will be done for the next day to assign next. We don't use next activity anymore, so we're going to close that. Next activity is no longer. Stop researching when it's done. Skill handling. I don't think I benefit from passing a skill check. I don't know what we're talking about. Check to see if the preferred work is already assigned so it doesn't do it every day. This has been done. We did this. It was just a byproduct of other things. Seth, how's it going? And improve skills, attributes, and possibly perks. This is it's both. Yeah, it's a bugs and a to-do list. It's a project in GitHub. I'm marking off a bunch of stuff that I did or I'm not doing, not doing ever again. Now check to see if the. I think I'm gonna move this up. I think I'm gonna move a couple of these up. Let's fix this thing too. No, this is where it should be. We'll do this next. If it says next activity is scavenging, I thought I just closed this one. Did I close some other one? This one we don't have next activity anymore. It's a little janky. This projects in GitHub, they get very. So I got a lot of shit in here, and it gets very slow and weird. It also could be because I'm using Firefox. I usually, if this gets above 100, I start archiving these just to have less crap. It is, and I was talking with somebody in chat said, do you find this useful? Because how much time do you spend keeping track of all this shit versus actually programming? And sometimes I find it there's a couple of reasons. When I'm liking it, one of the things I like is like the endorphins from being like, fuck yeah, I've done this issue and I can close it, like I like that sometimes. And other times, and I have a terrible memory, so having all of this stuff in here helps with like memory, oh yeah, I forgot I had to do that type of thing. But also it does take like a lot of time organizing, and at some point I hit some hotkey and it reorganized a bunch of these by some who knows what. Maybe it was order of issue or something, and so it like threw off. Like these are in specific order. It threw everything off, and so I've been like slowly fixing as I see them. But it's probably a couple hours work. I just don't want to do it. So it seems useful sometimes, and then other times I kind of ignore it and just work on whatever. But we're definitely right now we're definitely in a spot where I got to remember what the plans are. If they're scavenging, they should check to see if there's other work. We haven't gotten to that part. We got to rewrite that part. That's the same with this. This should come before the research, though. When jittering resources at the end of the day, we should check. Okay, so this one, we got to do. This one's coming up. We're getting close. This is the top thing, though, after we fix this stupid thing. I also, like, a lot of times I'll notice bugs, and I just throw them on here. If it's something that I'm going to fix soon, I just throw it over here. Okay, so I can click through this, huh? Let's fix that. This should be then. I will build this since it's giving us this little error. I also have ridiculous, I every time I think of a feature, I say, yeah, I'm going to add this to the game, even though it's it's impossible sometimes. There's a feature creep is definitely happening here. So I think we need to go to mouse. It's set to stop. I don't think that's what we want, though. I think we want, this is also set to stop. Let's look at, is our county, this is like a constant issue. So this one still is working where it's not, you can't go through. Let's select that one actually. Yeah, so this one's still blocking it, so we can look at this one, but I have a feeling what we need to do on this thing is put a, let's look at this other one, but I think we're going to need to put in a signal that tells it to stop doing it. The county info control doesn't have a signal on here, really? Nope, there it is. It's these guys. What is your mouse set to? Stop. Ignore. Ignore. I'm not gonna, I'm like, why is this different? But I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, so that one, we're gonna need to add a signal. Maybe I couldn't put a signal on this that was mouse enter. Now we have mouse enter and exit. And I also have this on mouse enter exit thing a bunch of times. And I don't want to have it a bunch of times. So the select token, that one needs to be there. Get the fuck out of here. What is this thing called? On this one. Entered. Entered. Spawned token button. You know, I think I'm going to have this again. I thought I stuck it in globals or something also. Look at all this crap. On mouse entered UI. They all are called something different just to make life more interesting here. So let's see. Globals is always going to exist. Let's go and connect this to this and see if this will work. I prefer not to have 1,000 of these things everywhere. What are you doing down here? Debug. Oh, it's just this. All right, let's see if this does anything. We might have to uncomment out those GD print things. That is doing nothing. Let's see if it's registering. I'm gonna take a break here in a second. I was just staring at the time, like, oh wow, seconds are passing. So I think like the control or something. Where is the control on this thing? No, the control reaches all the way across it. Why are you not working? Mouse entered. You know why probably is that there's something on top of the control or something that is blocking it. Where is this panel container? What do you look like? You also go the whole route here. I wonder, I wonder if I could like put this on top. Those other ones were set to ignore. Maybe we need to have this to like ignore so that it registers that the mouse is touching it, and then but then we turn off the UI thing. Or not. Okay. Do I have this on the right stuff? Let's double check. This is saved. It is. Mouse over UI. It should be doing that. So this is, once again, I do this. This is like the thing. Every couple of streams. Um, that one was on ignore. Maybe we need it on this panel container. Here, oh, it was already selected on it. Let's go back to globals. Pick. Connect. That's probably why that one was so down far, like down the list. It wasn't on the control, because it seems like you would just put it on the control. Let's see. Okay, so why is it working? No, it is working. Okay, sometimes. All the time? Look, it doesn't work on that. Piece of shit. It works here. It doesn't work on all the spots. This panel supposedly across the whole thing. Let's disconnect these ones, because these don't need to be connected. If this is, well, we'll double check, but I think this is just it doesn't work on the control for some reason. Yeah, and then so like these other things must be like block. Look, look as I go over this. Yeah, so like this texture, whatever the hell this is, it thinks it's going off of this when it hits the texture. I think that's a texture rack or something. What is this texture rack doing? It's passing it. Passing it to what? Shouldn't this panel container be on top of everything? I'm curious if I can fix it with ordering. Let's just put 50 in here. But then I'm probably not going to be able to like click the buttons. We'll have to see. Can I like not click the research button? Well, that didn't do anything anyways, and I still can. All right, panel container, go back to whatever. And what is this H box? Let's try it with the H box. So this is stopping, but it doesn't stop it. I mean, it does sometimes. What is this thing set as? Ignore. Ignore. So then this H box stretches the whole way too. Let's disconnect these. It's every time with this goddamn shit. You know, it used to really, I sound frustrated, but it used to really frustrate. Now I've done it so many times that I'm like, yeah, this just happens. One day it will be completely fixed and I'll never have to do this again. Whoops, wrong one. It just, I keep noticing it. Okay, so we're on the H box. The H box mouse is set to pass. I think we want it to stop when it gets to the lowest thing, you know. So all this shit is inside the H box. So hopefully this will be the final one. I should have looked at the other. Okay, so it's happening, and like, see this, it hits this label and it thinks it's going to something else. See, I don't want to put a signal on every one of these goddamn things, because look at all of them. Maybe. So how did I do it on this other one? Because I know that I went through this with this one. I have one signal on the V box, but then like, what are you set as? You're set to pass your mouse. You're set to pass. You're set to pass. What are you set to do? Pass. Stop. Maybe it's when they're set to stop. So it goes over and it's set to stop, so it stops it. Maybe we need to just make these all pass. Let's test this. Is this still open? Does this work? Okay, so this research button is a perfect thing to test. Oh, what about this stupid pause thing? It doesn't care about the pause thing for some reason. We have this research button right here. And right after we check this. But then is the research button going to break? Let's put this as pass. Let's save it. Let's redo it. And then I'm going to go take a quick break. One of these days. I didn't do anything. And the research button still works. I'm curious if I should put like a button over the whole top of it. What does this actually do? Let's make sure that this is on, stop, click through. Yeah, that's right. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and maybe I'll have an epiphany when I'm out there. I don't think I will, but let me put on my break timer and then stop my music you guys can't hear, and then I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. I was just thinking, I wonder if this has been in my issue list before, and I just didn't want to do it right then. Nope. All right. So this must have changed at some point. But we can test it. I guess I was thinking like, man, how much time? This might take like hours to fix. Okay, so for the research, yeah, so it goes over the research. Let's just go through the options here. We have pass, we have ignore, but ignore I don't think we'll be able to click the button then. Yeah, then we can't click the button. That's a problem. What signals show panel? Makes sense. So this can't be on ignore. Where the hell am I? Why can't I see this? I was literally looking at it 2 seconds ago. There we go. We could stop it, which didn't do anything, but I'm going to double check. And then we'll look at the county thing again, because the county has buttons and stuff too. And they are all blocked. Yeah, there's like a little sliver of something in there. You can see it. I was going to try to zoom in, but you can't zoom into the UI. Okay, so back to this thing. Stop doesn't do anything. Let's look one more time at this. So do I have buttons on here? I do have a bunch of buttons on here. So like, what is this button set to? It's set to, oh my God, my leg is itchy all of a sudden. Mouse is set to pass. Okay. And what thing does it have a signal on here? Just button signals. So that's on the H box down there. Okay, so maybe we put a signal on this H box, which is, maybe we need to put a signal on this H box. What did I have pass on here? Stop. Let's put this back to pass. Let's put this signal on the fewer number of signals, the better. How long have I been working on it? It depends on the time. It depends on the time frame. I only work on it on weekends, so it seems like it's like an extremely, like a couple of years, I think, but which is a really long time. But if you do the math of how many hours I've put into it, it's not that much. I'm on episode 148, so probably times 3 is 440 hours. So that's like 10 weeks, 11 weeks, which isn't that bad. But yeah, a very long time if you look at it from the amount of days that have passed since the day that I started it. And I started in Unity and I moved it over, so there was like another relearning thing. Okay, that didn't do shit. um, you know, sometimes I feel like I've accomplished a lot, and sometimes I feel like I have not accomplished anything. Um, I did, and you know, I didn't think it was going to be going from Unity to Godot was going to be as much of a challenge as it was, but it was definitely, you know, it's a completely new thing. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it now, but it's still. Um, I mean, I could just put a signal on every single goddamn thing, but it just. I wonder if like it's this pause control. This pause control goes over the whole thing. Let's put it on here too. It won't be that bad, right? Mouse entered. Mouse exited. Let's double check. I suddenly just had this fear that like I did the wrong entered exited. Um, chat has been very helpful with learning Godot because there's often things that I don't even know exist. No, I was gonna say that worked, but no. What's your problem now, huh? Handle is not initialized. What handle? What are you talking about? Let's see if that happens again here. And so the people, the Godot has a much smaller community, but I feel like it didn't do it this time. Was it up here when it did that? Oh, maybe that's that weird bug that just happens every once in a while. Um, yeah, it's still not working. I wonder though, now that I think about it, it is blocking the thing. It is working to the point that it's blocking the. See, this would be changing over to like here. It's when we leave that button. Um, you should. It's not that hard. Anyways, yeah, the community is smaller, but they're a lot more friendly than the Unity community. I feel like the Unity community is kind of hostile. There are definitely many friendly people in the Unity community, but there are a lot of hostile people. I think they're kind of uh, elitist, I think is the term. Okay, so this one, I think I'm just gonna add a bunch of fucking signals. Joker makes tutorials for Godot, and he's on the README of this thing. Um, uh, there's a link to his YouTube. Um, what type of game do you want to make? That goes for you too, Joker, and anyone else in the in chat. What type of games do you guys want to make? Um, so I guess we'll go through each. I don't think the pause control matters. This panel container supposedly goes up. Whatever makes you a millionaire. Mobile games. Is that still the thing? Is mobile games? So we know that this speed thing isn't working, right? Let's go over to here. Yeah, so this shouldn't. So where's the speed thing? I don't really want to do it this way, but so we got these signals here. The speed panel is just these two things. Man, what are on all these buttons? We just have to change speed on there. What is this set to? Is this set to pass? It's set to pass, just like the other ones. Time and research button. We can't have it stop either. Man, I do not want to put a signal on every single one of these. RPG top down. Yeah, that sounds doable. That sounded like I was being sarcastic. I'm not. I'm not. Like with tile maps and stuff. What if? So like this thing isn't stopping in. What if I put? I have a panel container though. And I believe how it works is everything, like it goes from here up. This pause control isn't inside this panel container. What happens if I put it in there? Let's see if that. So I think that the most important thing I learned was to do baby steps, which is what everyone says about programming. That seems to work, even with this thing inside there. Like the first step, if you wanted to do a top-down RPG, is like figure out what is the map gonna, be. Is it gonna be a tile map? Is it gonna be a giant sprite? What is it gonna be? And then figure out how to like make something appear on that map, and then make, which I mean, I guess it's all obvious what I'm saying, but it seems like when I started, I tried to like go 3D and do all sorts of stuff, and it was so much work to get one thing to work that I didn't even understand. It's weird that this says it's going back. If you can see the number of things changing over there, but it actually blocks it. I'm gonna put another one on this this thing. Mouse entered. Connect. Whoops. The moose has entered globals. Mouse exited. And then. So I feel like this panel container should be at the back of everything. And it should stop stuff. But see, it's. Maybe that is working. It is not working. It's like the texture racks are doing something. It's set to pass. Maybe this isn't in the order I think it is. Can I put a negative in here? I want this at the very back. Oh, with C#, it always just has those bugs. They always just come and go. It's whenever you're messing with, there's certain things in the inspector. Okay, so that didn't work. Is this set to ignore? What happens if I put it stop? The only time it seems to matter, I wonder why that happens all the time. It often says like there's something's null, and I don't know what it. Yeah, it's still doing it. Trying to think of a way to make this so it's not such a pain in my ass all the time. I could put a signal on every single goddamn thing, but I don't even know if that's going to work at this point. Mara, how's it going? Thank you for the raid. How is your day going? You must. He was Joker was telling me about how it was going over there. That's a long stream. You must be exhausted. Let's see. Head empty. Yeah, I would imagine. I like at 3 hours, my programming brain is usually pretty much done. When I'm not streaming, I program. I was saying this earlier. I program for like 15 minutes, then take a break, and then I program for 15 minutes and take a break. Man, I can't look at this. This thing must go up over here. Yeah, it does. Um, yeah, I'm using C sharp. Uh, so none of this seems to affect anything. I came over. Yeah, I came over from Unity, um, and don't ever plan on going back. I know a lot of people went back, which is surprising to me. Um, I guess I really don't want to do with this, but let's see here. I agree. I agree. I think that especially because a lot of them are really good programmers and they were able to pick up Godot really fast. Um, and so what's the point of going back? Even though, you know, Unity walked back their stuff. Let's go back to this and I'm gonna double check. So this worked. God, I really don't want to put a signal on all of these things, but let's pretend like this is the only solution because I think that it might be the only solution here is to do this. Um, whoops, I keep doing that. Thank you, and um, have a good sleep. Yeah, your sleep is definitely justified. Oh yeah, Joker, I'm working on a 2D 4X game. It's open source. Um, and right now I'm trying to make things not click through the UI because it drives me crazy when I see that in other games. And all right, we're testing this one over here. Let's see. Okay, so this does work, but I guess this other signal doesn't do anything. This speed panel. No, that worked. I don't know if it was working before. I'm just gonna add a signal to every one of these motherfuckers. Um, nope. 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 Uh, pick. Connect. Connect. Globals. Pick. I'm gonna hate this later. So yeah, like these things, they don't mean anything. And I looked them up and it just doesn't, they go away. All right, so this is just the 0x0 button only that I've done this to. So that's just this button. We can't test it over here though. We got to get into. So that does work. I just got to have a signal on single thing. Um, oh my God, what am I listening to? I know you guys can't hear it. Oh, I actually like this. There's some band called Metric that some of their songs are good. That one was bad. Pick. Connect. Pick. Connect. Oh, these I was about to say if these had a script on them, I could just put in the code to do this. Where am I going? Okay. You know, I played it. I used to play it every once in a while. I used to like for a couple of streams, and then it was actually YouTube didn't give a shit. It was it was Twitch was the one that I would always get these warnings that were like, you played copyrighted music, um, and you got to stop. And so then I was like slightly worried. I was worried enough to stop doing it. But then someone in chat said there's a way you can get around it by setting like a different channel for your music. Oh, that's what you're talking about there. Yeah, so that you have that different channel. Um, but the thing is, then I think what happens is on the VOD, it's missing the music, right? And it seemed like a lot of work for very little gain. Though if uh, right, well, exactly. But then if I was talking about, oh, you guys do like this song, then it's like dead silence. It seems seems weird. Uh, but it also just didn't really seem worth the effort. Okay, these are now no longer happening. So we just got to add a signal to every one of these other ones. I wonder if I could do it with this container. What was the one on the right? Was this amounts used container? So let's connect this. But I watched some of my own videos just like with that in mind of like, how bad does it sound without music? And it is pretty bad. Just the silence of like nothing going on sometimes, because sometimes I'm like in deep in thought or whatever. It is kind of a bummer that that's the way it is. I wish you could just like get permission from artists, and then Twitch and YouTube wouldn't give you shit about it. Okay, so this one, I can't tell if this 0 is, that one's okay. Okay, so the 0, all right. So it's each container I'm gonna have to do. I don't know why I can't just have this work. It's a lot of containers, and I'm gonna forget when I add a new container. You can, but yeah, I still have to go on each stream and be like, wrong, yeah. I wish there was just like a list of approved bands, because some bands want well, I don't know about want, but they wouldn't have a problem with it because it gets people to hear their music. It's like they used to play radio DJs all sorts of money to it actually became illegal. They used to play radio DJs to play music, and they won't, because they want people to listen to them. So I know I'm not like a big streamer or anything, but if I'm in the wrong spot here, it seems like some bands, like I said, yeah, but their approved list is probably crap. It's probably all techno and shit. And because I did look around for a while, and I found like a list of copyright-free music that was acceptable to Twitch, and it was just all techno, or what do they call it? EDM these days is what they call it. And I don't want that. I would be ashamed of myself if I did that. Just it's not my thing. It can be other people's thing, but it's not my thing. Okay, connected, and globals pick. This is more tedious than, so that's another thing about programming that I didn't, like I knew, but I was saying, this is back to the making a video game sort of conversation we were having. I didn't know there'd be so much tedious stuff. I figured you would be able to use like programming to get around a lot of it, and you can, but there's other like weird tedious things like resizing photos, resizing sprites and things like that. And I hate that shit. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta resize 40 sprites. Fuck me, I don't want to do that. All right, we're getting here. We only got all of these to do. I wonder, can I do this? No. I was hoping. Sometimes, you know, in the inspector, you can do stuff. I was like, man, I could attach a script to all of them, I guess. And it would be like can I do that? I can attach a script to all of them that would have the connector in there. It, you know, I've noticed Blade coming up a lot lately. That movie, like that. Maybe I should just do that. Let's write a script for it real quick. A UI script. And then um, we'll call it mouse blocker. Oh, maybe that's why, is that they're making a new one. So I think it's been a while since I think what you do, this is not a node. Oh, they're different types of nodes, though. Son of a bitch. Okay, well. Bye, mouse blocker. We'll just go back to the tedium. Um, one of these days, as long as it sticks, as long as I can push it to GitHub and never have to do this again. But once again, I know the problem is going to be I'm going to forget that I did this, and I'm going to add a new panel, and I'm going to wonder, like, I'm not going to notice that the mouse goes through this little tiny part for months, and then I'll finally be like, what the fuck? Why is this broken? Um, there we go. Globals pick. And then one of these is going to have like the wrong thing in the wrong spot. I imagine too, this is like what they make the junior programmers do. They're like, okay, go through every node and connect it to a signal for me. And here we go. We're getting there. We only have 27 more to do. $27 more times 2. And then one of these isn't going to work. Why do I keep doing that? One of these isn't going to work, and I'm going to have to fuck around with it forever. But at least it will be done, right? And go to the next one. Trying to think if there's anything exciting to talk about while I do this, but not really. I'm sure there is, but I should have asked that guy what type of game he was making. Joker, what type of game was that guy making? Um, um, there needs to be more RPGs. I know there's a ton of RPGs, but I feel like I'm pro when people say they want to make RPGs because they also like sometimes people have like unique takes on character classes and skills and stuff. Um, and I guess I'm not very good at the tedium. So in my day, oh, we're on the last one. On my day job, I put all my tedious stuff to like I keep pushing it back for as long as possible, and then I like dedicate a day to do like update Excel files and shit. And nope, nope, and just like blast music and sit here and do stuff. Okay, about fish trying to eat coral, and you got to protect it by scaring away the fish. Sounds interesting. 2D, 3D. All right, let's test this and see how much terrible shit it doesn't work. 32 bugs. We can kind of test it here. Let's put it over here. Oh no! Okay, this one. I'm not sure what hit it. Was this texture? Yeah, it's the texture for food. It's set to pass. What is this one? This one's set to stop. Maybe I need to set this to stop. 2D. Nice. Were we talking? I know we've talked about this before, but there was some other game that recently was made with Godot. We've talked about that Road to Vostok or whatever it was called. That was 3D, but then I think there was some other game recently that came out that was crazy. Maybe you posted about it? Okay, so stop seems to work. Let's test that again because I think maybe we need to have this like. No, it shouldn't matter. So like if this one's there. Yeah, so stop seems to be the key for these things. Um, Man, that took like 40 minutes of me dicking around with this. 45 minutes, I don't know. This is this stuff that I like didn't like. I knew you would have to do it, but it also didn't. I didn't know I was gonna have to do it. Yeah, if that makes sense. It's the stuff that's not fun. There's somebody else who comes into, or there's someone who comes into chat who says he likes all of this stuff, so he's stoked. Um, I wish I liked all of this stuff. Then we got to do this one. Um, Spirit, how's it going? Uh, Stop this one, and then stop this one. Yeah, there's a video. I can't remember the name of it. I have it on my wish list. I can look it up in a second here. But it's a 3D Godot game. But there was another game too that I thought recently came out, or not. It was recently announced, and it was Godot 3D. Okay, they're all fixed. Let's do this again here. Just to make sure. Okay, that was horrible. Let's save this. Let's go to Steam. Wish list. It's Road to something. Is it? Yeah, it is Road to Vostok. Yeah, this is like the 3D. But there was another game too that I'm curious. There's a lot of extraction survival stalker type games that are coming out, and some of them are quite bad. some of them feel like a cash grab. I don't think that one is. That's just one dude. All right, we did this. we fix this thing. It has been fixified. Generate resources. We need to check when generating resources at the end of the day. We need to check the county approved and make sure it's generated. So I think, did I put notes in here? I don't think I did. I think what I'm talking about is we just need to make sure that this is working. So let's put a GD print workday over for population. Generate work resources with skill check. What do we got here? Worked at blah, blah, blah. And this now has that amount. That should be a check. We may have already checked this. And it's just an old thing. So we should be able to click on the counties also and see if stuff is being generated. Oh, I know what it's talking about. I know what past me was talking about. This is talking about once people are assigned to the county improvements, we need to check this, which is pretty, I mean, obviously we would have to check that. Right now, no one has a county approved. Yeah, it's not set yet. So this should be down towards the bottom, actually. Yeah, Tarkov is extremely popular. I bought that Gray Zone Warfare game because I've always wanted to try Tarkov, but I hear it's just filled with cheaters, and I don't want to play against cheaters and bots. And it sounds like the developers kind of dickheads for Tarkov. So I didn't really want to support that. So I bought that Gray Zone Warfare game, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty early access. Didn't I just move this, or did I move the wrong one? Go down here. You need to be at the bottom. I think I moved the wrong one. Not at the very bottom. Right here. Okay. If they're scavenging, they should check to see if there's other work. So this is like way back when we first encountered this. They had single player mode. Oh, I think they just released it or something, and that was part of the deal. Is like they charged $250 for single player mode or some shit. Tarkov, but there's like a single player mod for Tarkov. Gray Zone Warfare has like a PvE setting, so there's other people online, but they can't hurt you. Putting that in quotes because I think that's still an issue. For a while, they could nade you. So they would throw a grenade, and then they would log off, and the grenade would no longer belong to anyone, so it was no longer friendly fire, and then they could hurt you. I hope they fix that, because it was pretty dumb. So what are we at here? Actually, we haven't gotten to this yet. We're almost there. Each person should research. Okay, so where we're at right now, I don't think it would benefit. Once storage is full, they will stop working or start looking for a different job. That's that we need to do. When generating resources, once experience gain improved. Sounds kind of funny. I mean, it's just griefing. So what they would do is then they would have one of their friends still be online, because when you join a server in that game, it just puts you in random servers, and then their friend would come get your loot because you would be dead. And so you'd be hanging out like in the supposedly safe zone, and they would just be nading people left and right. And you would lose all your loot because it's an extraction shooter. But I think they did fix that. So let's put a note where we're at, because I'm almost out of time here. What is this shit? Let's go. we're finally at, well, let's look here, actually. I keep going back to this because we don't need this. Get out of there. This is where we're at. Is there enough food? This is a channel name for this method. Well, I mean, so on PvE, you're not supposed to be able to hurt other people. So that kind of like defeats the purpose of it being PvE. And then PvP, you're not supposed to be able to hurt your teammates while you're in the base. So you can't just walk up and shoot each other. But when you're out of the base, I think friendly fire is on. But I've actually, in PvP mode on that game, I've actually never seen an enemy person. I've only seen friendlies. So I've never had anybody, I mean, I've had my friendlies shoot me, but I've never had an actual enemy, human, shoot at me. Population uses other resources besides food. So this is where we are at. We're finally at, and I had an idea of how I want to do this. So I want to put a note, if there's something, should check if there's other work. Yeah. County population needs are checked like a skill are checked, then resources besides food are used. So food's going to be special, which we already did. And let me top here, and I'm going to turn this into an issue, and then go in here and edit this description. For right now, it will only be remnants, which I know is spelled wrong. It's right up there on that other tab. Right now, it will only be remnants, but we would have a needs dictionary or something like that where it would start at 0 or 1 and go up depending. We have a needs dictionary or something like that would start at 0 or 1 and go up just like how skill improvement happens. Then the need would be checked, and if it passed the skill check, they would want that stuff until the need was met. All right, I think that's enough notes for myself. I just don't want to forget about that idea. So it will check, and then they'll pass. They definitely don't have any police on there. It'd be interesting. They do have NPCs. I've never seen them shoot at each other or at anything in gray zone warfare that are like standing around the base. I don't know how that works. Like if you did, you can't just like start rock and rolling though. I don't think you can even hurt them unless you were using that grenade. You could use the grenade exploit to do that, but I don't think you can hurt anybody in base, but the minute you step out of the base, you can hurt your own people, as it should be. Because you should friendly fire should actually, it should be scary to have people just like blazing away. And when I first started playing, it was like the first 30 minutes, I wandered into the, you know, an area, and I saw a guy, and I was just like, I don't actually know if that's a good guy or a bad guy or not. So, I was like waiting to see if he was going to shoot it. I had him like zeroed in, and then he started talking to me and he was friendly. But so I like that feeling. Um, Let me push this code because I feel like we fixed UI click through and we did something else. Started top bar update. Whoops. Update resources used yesterday. A lot of burst damage around people with all the NPCs. That's kind of cool. I mean, as long as it's a game mechanic and it's not an exploit. All right, I'm gonna push this up here, and I think that's it for me today. Tomorrow we'll finally do this. All of those. I guess we fixed a couple of bugs too. Yeah, this is next. This is for tomorrow. But that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good existence.